one-class recycled weaving project. Your end result is going to look something like this, and you could use it for pencils or just as a decoration. And you want to work with any sort of recycled plastic bottle that you have around the house. I have some big ones, I have some small ones. Gatorade bottles do not work well because the plastic is really thick, and we're going to have to get in there and cut it up. So the first thing you want to do is choose your bottle. You want to go ahead and remove the sort of plastic label and take off the top. You should also rinse it out. I've already rinsed this one out. It's still a little wet. That's just fine. Now this is the hard part, and you may want an adult to help you with it. You're going to poke a hole in your plastic. I'm using some small scissors, and then I'm going to switch to the big scissors. But whatever you have that'll work. Once you've got your hole poked, you can go ahead and cut off the top. And we're going to go ahead and discard this so you could save it for something else. And you want to cut your basket strip. I'm going to go ahead and cut down till I get to this little dent in the bottle. That's going to be the easiest place to weave from. If your bottle is bigger, you could go for 2 or 3 centimeter strips. I'm going to go for about 1.5 centimeters, or a little smaller than 1 inch. It's up to you. Then I'm going to go ahead and put my scissors down. I want to have some sort of glue or tape or stapler to work on this project to hold your paper in place. I have just some big clear tape. Anything that you have at home, if you had liquid silicone, that would work. If you have masking tape, that'd be just fine. Use what's in stock. And then you want to look for any sort of paper. I had some construction paper, but you could go ahead and use newspaper, use a magazine, and you want to cut it into strips. I cut these strips for my bigger piece, but for the little piece they'll look kind of funky. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut them in half so that I have some smaller strips to use. The size of your strip doesn't matter, and they don't all have to be the same size. You could do some thick, some thin. You can use paper that's already got writing on it. Any sort of paper will work. Once you've got ahead and cut your strips, you're going to start on any of the plastic cuts. And I like to tuck the first one under, and then it goes under, over, under, over, all the way around. When you get to the end, you can go ahead and tape your strip in place. And I'm going to trim off my extra. Most types of weaving, the strip will stay in place on its own. But this is a plastic bottle. It doesn't stay in place super well. So I'm going to go ahead and use just a little bit of the clear tape just to secure it so it doesn't disappear. Then I'm going to grab another paper and continue. I'm going to pick any spot again, but I want to make sure I keep my pattern. So if this one was over on the first one, I want it to be under for the next one. So I get my under-over pattern going around and up and down. go ahead and sort of push him down before I tape him in place. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and continue. I can maybe fit 2 more strips on this one. The amount of strips you'll end up with really just depends on how big your plastic bottle is and how big or small you cut your strips. If you cut them smaller, you'll have fewer. I'm sorry, you'll have more. And if you cut them larger, then you'll have fewer. And it doesn't matter as long as you're creating that pattern and practicing that weaving skill. Good. Take this guy down, and I can fit 1 more small one on there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Then, when you get to the top, you're going to want to create a nicer edge. If you had a stapler, that would be the best choice, but I don't have one today. So I'm going to have to use tape, like I did for my last guy, and that works just fine too. So I've completed my weave. I'm going to tape the last piece in place, and then I want to just fold the edges over the paper. So if your paper's on the inside, I fold in. If the paper's on the outside, I fold out. Folding in and then out. Continuing that under-over pattern, just in a slightly different way. If you had a stapler, you could go ahead and just give each one of these a quick staple. But like I said, I don't have one. So if you have liquid silicone, you could just put a little bit of glue, hold and press. But I've got tape. So what I'm going to do is cut a piece of tape. And I'm going to lay it over each one and press. Like go around the circle. And I might not get it all in one go, and that is just fine. So I don't want a piece of tape that's too big for me to handle. And then I'm going to pull it in on the inside, and that'll give my top a nice finished edge so the cut plastic won't scratch me, stick out funny. Just a little more. Okay. Last guy right there. And tuck it in. And so now I've got a cute little plastic woven container. And I can put this one to use right away. Have fun. Make sure you email or Facebook me a picture when you're done. Bye.